Hey, I'd like to welcome everybody to Clarence Miles and the Community Show here at the historical Langston Dwellers complex here in Washington, D.C., here at, off of 21st and Biddy Road Northeast. I'm here today with my main man, Kurt Boldman, a man area of Langston Dwellers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
born
like
and
to say
raised.
that. Langston Dwellers. We,
Oh, don't stop. I'm just telling you, move your mic to your. When I do that, I mean, put the mic in your mic.
okay, let's start over. Because I want to make sure we got everything.
When I motion, don't stop. Just keep talking.
Yeah, because I didn't know what she was doing.
No, regardless. Keep going.
Is the mic good now?
Yeah,
We're
because
going
it's
to
pointing
take
through.
it one more time. We're going to take it from the top one more time.
Okay. There.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Clarence Miles and the Community Show here at the historical Langston Dwellers on the grounds of the D.C. Housing Authority. We're here on this historical landmark, the second oldest housing complex in the United States. And they have a great big history in this community. They have a lot of people that's in this community that I've been working with for years. You know, we got a lot of people that came up out of here. If you look back into the reading or go back into the landmarks of Langston Dwellers, you'll hear about people like Janice Wade McCree. You might hear about Langston, the guy who did this community. You might hear about the young lady who wrote the books and stuff like that. Then we also got another young lady who grew up in this neighborhood who's right now, she have a dentist practice here, right here in Northeast Washington, D on 2nd Ave. She come from out of here, a dentist, got her own practice. So we know we're moving right along, but I'm here today talking to a good friend of mine that I met about 20 years ago, Curtis Boldman, here in Langston Dwellers, a guy who invested a lot into this community, a guy who done a lot in this community, and again, a guy always kind of rebuilt and changed a lot of things in this community, and still, as of today, in 2022, he's still investing into the community and giving back. And we also had partners on a couple of events here in Langston Dwellers in the last couple of years, and I just want to introduce everybody to Kurt Boldman, which is called All Day.
Yeah, all days clothing, all day sports.
All day sports, all day closing. You know, I think as you know, as I sit here talking to you, I just remember thinking back the lifestyle. You know, I think about a lot about the lifestyle of yesterday, but I think about the lifestyle of today.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I think about as you and myself, we was a person of the community, no matter what fashion that it was, what was in and out. When I say in, I mean out there that wasn't involved in the community, but involved in the community. But then I'm talking about today, how we are involved in the community, how our life had turned around, how we still was able to help others and give love and come back to our community, which today, where I'm at today, as being a Washingtonian, is give back to the community in so many different ways. But I understand, you know, that I'm here talking to you, and I think I've been here under my own organization for 12 years, and I think that you and I have been talking through the times I've been under this organization, and you had came to me, you know, a couple of times about partnership. So, Tim, can you just tell me a little bit about where we at today, and where you at today, as far as the lifestyle here in Washington, D.C., just where it's Langston Dwellers?
Okay, yeah, well, first of all, you know, I'm blessed, you know, to be here and happy for you to have me. That's number one. And, you know, right now, man, today I'm currently just trying to keep my foot in the community, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to make a difference, trying to get some of my knowledge back. I call it sharing my jewels, you know what I'm saying? You know, exchanging jewels, if you would say. So right now I'm just trying to just give back, man, and make places a little better than I found it. You know, give back the teachings that was taught to me. That's all right now. So however that be through the youth, through the seeing citizens, you know, however I got to do it.
So as we're gonna be forward, but we're gonna move back. But as we here today, or what are some of the greatest changes that came about in the last couple of years, we know that the pandemic was here, you know what I mean? And through the pandemic, a lot of things, a lot of changes, a lot of ways, a lot of thoughts, and a lot of, you know, things that even with this community have changed so much. But I do notice that, you know, for the last couple of years, you really have been coming back to this community, giving it back, whether it's cookout, whether we're hanging with the youth or talking to the youth or passing out to the seniors, you know. And I got some of the seniors in the neighborhood saying, man, you need to talk to Kirkbone. You need to talk to Kirkbone because, you know. So why is it that I hear your name talking to people in the community talk so well about you and about the service that you give back to the community?
Yeah, man, like I said, it all go back to the teachings, because when I came around Langston, that's how we was brought up, you know what I'm saying? The older generation gave us love. They kept community stuff going on, kept us painting the fences and cleaning up the court. You can knock on anybody's door and get a sandwich. So I'll be trying to, you know, put that type of feel back into the community, you know what I'm saying? So lately, in the last few years, I've been a little more visual, because I was doing a lot of things in the Fort DuPont Park area, which I found out that it wasn't able to touch some of the seniors around here. They wasn't able to make that commute over there. And then, you know, with the different atmosphere and the tension that been moving around through Langston, I said I might need to get a little closer, you know what I'm saying? So that's why we kind of push it right into the court. But we've been every year in that Fort DuPont area for real, doing the same thing.
Good. You know, I heard you talking about you give it back to the seniors, and can you share with some of the things that you do with the seniors, or what you do back when you come back into the community, that you invested so much in? How is it that what you're doing today is different than what you did yesterday into this community, and what makes you to be the stand-up person around here? Because, you know, you're very highly respected, which is true. You're very talked about, which is true. But most of all, you're a gentleman and you're a scholar, you know, and I highly do respect that. You know, but we're talking about, we work with our youth today. What is the difference between the youth today and the youth yesterday? You know, even if you have to come down when you was a youth compared to when you were dealing with youth and how we dealing with the youth today, it's so much different changes that came about. I mean,
right? Yeah, I mean, one of the glaring things that I see the difference is that a lot of these youth today, they just didn't have that figure who they can kind of look up to and kind of mentor or project themselves out there, versus when we was coming up. Even though we was doing some of the similar activities they was doing, you know what I'm saying, they not no different from what we was doing, you know, as far as breaking the law, getting on people's nerves around here, you know, selling poison and playing with the gun, all of that. I mean, we was doing the same thing, you know what I'm saying? It's just that we had some older dudes or older ladies and men that can pull you up and say, hey, come here, sit on my couch and drop some wisdom on you, you know what I'm saying? So either you follow or not, it was there. Versus now, they don't really have that, so they kind of freestyling and learning on the fly and getting information from their peers, which both of them got the same time experience. And, you know, so I think that's the missing element, that they don't have that OG kind of say, and, you know, as far as to go talk to.
Yeah. So when I don't know about, I noticed a change when I was out there, but why is it so today that we are not able to relate or be able to communicate with our nieces and nephews, or our sons and daughters, or even the people that we come back into the community about, even though they see that we have made a big difference in our life? You understand? How is it that we can't translate, or if we translate, or are they really getting the message, or do you think it's too late for them?
I don't think it's too late, but I also think we struggling with the fact that, again, when we came up, we had a blueprint. When they come up now, they're being taught that the older people need to get out of the way. They don't know nothing. That internet is the biggest thing. That social media, internet, that's like I don't know what to call it, the devil, what to call it, but it's like it has its positive and negative. But for the most part, it's raising our youth.
Right.
Back in the day, if you wanted to know something, either you had to go on the encyclopedia, or you had to wait for the older person to give you a moment to break that down to you. Now they go right in their bedroom and go on Google and travel the world and get all type of information, some bad, some good. So we competing with something that we never had to compete with, you know, before any time.
Yeah, you know, when you brought up about the internet, I wanted to say, you know, during that time, we didn't have a telephone, we didn't have the internet and all these different things. And we did, you know, I got a chance to listen to great people. You know, a lot of times I wanted to kick that information to the side, but what I have found is, what I heard, that if you don't need it today, you can put it up on the shelf.
Right.
You know what I mean? But do the kids have a shelf to put anything up on? I mean, in other words, are we translating the message to our young folks. Even though I work with kids every day, and some of them don't get the message till later like I did. But are we really translating that information to our youth the way that we should be, or are we living where, a lot of people say, well, when the lights used to come on, you know what I mean? And I know our youth don't understand nothing about that. How is it that we are not, or are we really translating that message to the youth who really don't care nothing about me or you?
I mean, yeah, I think people putting the effort in trying to do it. I just think the communication piece being missed somewhere along the transition. But I always say my experience that I'm learning is you got to learn their language. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to speak their language. You got to know what they like and make them feel like they're accepted. Because a lot of youth, man, they being neglected at home. They being neglected everywhere they go. So when they talk to me or you, we know different. So we gotta let them know that we feel your pain, we understand you, and kind of listen before we kind of talk. And a lot of them will listen. You just gotta learn their language.
Yeah, but and it even so. But the way the kids today, they don't have that type of respect for the community or the older women or the older ladies that's be sitting out on the front now. I think when they passed that bill about the marijuana is good and marijuana is free, you can do what you want to do. It has no stipulations. But a lot of our kids is just. I can't describe it, and I work with kids every day. Because. Just when you think that you might have lost this young man something, he ended up coming back and build himself up. And what I'm saying is, Kurt, what is it that we can do here in this community to make a change? Not talking about not changing, but make a change within our society that we live here in Langston Dwellers, because I know that you play a great part in this communication, in this community. And I'm saying with the communication in this community, that even though your voice may not be as loud, but it makes a lot of noise. How do we make a transition with our youth today that, because is there opportunities? Are there opportunities?
Yeah. We just got to keep pushing, Clarence. We got to keep pushing. We got to attack because sometimes we paying so much attention to the 18 and 21 and 22, and by that time they mind are pretty much made up. You know what I'm saying? So we might got to pay more attention to that 8-year-old to 10 to 12. Get them and try to reshape their mind before they get poison out there. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to keep on just believing in them. And the work we do, that both of us do, that I tell people, they say, man, you think you're making a difference? And then sometimes I got to tell them, I say, man, we not firemen. You call us to your house, we that going up to the tree and get your cat down and give it to you, and then you be like, hug us and give us a piece of cake. You know what I'm saying? Right. Sometimes you don't see that your finished product till you in a restaurant 25 years later, and a little kid walked up to you that you could have sworn was going to be in the penitentiary and say, this is Mr. Clarence I've been telling you about right here, and all his kids know about you. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's what I like about, the work that I do. It's always not going to be no instant gratification. The kid is not going to turn on a dime. But my biggest thing is that when I see the kid tomorrow, when he or she say, man, I know you was talking to him, but this is where I'm doing today. He or she, say, this is where I'm at today. I always use this little girl here in the neighborhood that live around the corner when she got put out of junior high school. You know what I mean? Six months into high school. And then she came back, and now she's a scholar. She on the Dean's list. She went back to school, and she just doing it, working and all the rest of the stuff. And these are the outcasts that we work with, but we got to understand a lot of our kids go through a lot of trauma.
Right. And you spoke earlier about a young lady, Miss Keisha Preston, man, with her own dental office. You got Frank Chambers, got his own construction company. You got Moon, got his construction company. It's a lot of wins. It's a lot of wins came out of our community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the media want to highlight the losses, you know what I'm saying, or the potential losses. I'm not going to say losses, potential losses. So we just got to tap on that. We got to let the youngest know that, that was Kirk. You was once Kirk Bone. That was who I was. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So now, just let them see, and they watching. You know what I'm saying? So you got to walk what you're preaching.
And this is why it's so valuable that we continue on working with our youth, because we can talk real good as an adult, but kids don't want to see how good you can talk. They want to see action.
Yeah, they want to see
You know what I
action.
mean? If you're not showing no action, then they don't have a lot of time for you. You know, I sit here, you know, and I look and I listen. You know, I know that you, like, we got some shirts up here. You know, that our kids had did. But you also is an entrepreneur too. You also have a clothing line.
Right.
You also have some of the nice sports outfits here at the District of Columbia. Can you give me a little help on that, a little information about that, and how could our young folks could get involved and stuff like that?
Right, yeah. What the clothing line is all days sports, all days gear. My social media platform, just, you know, I guess a shout out to myself, all days gear on Instagram. And then I started off right here, man. My first store was right there on the corner, 21st and Bennett Road. I hired people from Langston Terrace. I clothed people from Langston Terrace. So a lot of the old people, they remember when they come to you and say, my niece and nephew died, we don't have no clothes. You'd be surprised how many people that's in, their last day was going to the casket, you know what I'm saying, with all days on, you know what I'm saying? So, and we always gave out free mentoring. We let youth work there for summer jobs and teach them how to do graphic and stuff like that. So our doors is always open, you know what I'm saying? So we actually trying to get a brick and mortar again, and hopefully we can get in this corridor and kind of teach some of these youngsters the same thing we was doing the last 20 years.
And this is why I brought it up, you know, because sometimes, you know, people need to know that if we know P. Diddy come out with his clothing line,
right.
But he wasn't the first urban wear.
Oh,
you
yeah,
follow what I'm saying?
no.
You had the Madden shot that came out before P. Diddy, but P. Diddy just had a little bit more information uptown, around town, and what I mean, New York, all over the state, that he can kind of put his stuff down. But just like your clothing line have been around a long time, you know, very good quality and stuff like that. I know it took a lot of brain work to get involved. So what made you get into that? What happened that you made a transformation as far as your clothing line?
Because first of all, I was throwing parties. I was doing a lot of promotional stuff, and when I throw parties, I usually them processes be 90 to 120 days out. So it was good, but good lucrative money. I can't complain about that. But I was trying to figure out something that I can do that I can get a more consistent pay. And so I always had a decent little style. I was a big guy, so big guys liked my style. So I say, shoot, let me see if I can turn that into some money. And I always shout out Madness because they was an inspiration to all the clothing lines that come through DC. So they was always right there over your shoulder for inspiration. So so I end up, man, say, shoot, I'm gonna sell my style, you know what I'm saying, sell my flair. And I always was a hustler, even if it was illegal back then or legal, you know what I'm saying, it's in my bloodline. And that go back to the generation before me. You know what I'm saying?
You know, what I like about Clarence Miles in the community, don't let me, because I'm sitting up here now, got a platform, you know what I'm saying, I came straight off the street. You know, my favorite street was 8th and 8th, you know what I mean? I started off in all the little spots and everything. I was able to, I'm a survivor of the street. You know, a lot of my friends like to say either dead, gone, or incarcerated. It was just fortunate that I'm sitting up here with my own business right now, youth program. It's not because I wanted a youth program. You know, it was the young folks that I was working with was saying to me, Clarence, you can do this here, man. You can do this. I had no inkling, so I was always thinking as a worker. I was never thinking about me working for myself or allowing other people. I was just so used to just working for other folks. But when the youngster kept telling me I could do this here, man, you know, I started thinking about I could do this. You know, I mean, I started thinking about that. You know, but as time going, we're going what I'm about to do is I'm about to take a minute and I'm gonna regroup and we're gonna come back with some other information where we'll be able to pass on, you know, this information to the community.
Before we take our break, how can people find you?
Oh, I'm at 701 24th Street, Langston Dwellings. You'll see my sign outside of the building. You know what I mean? I've been up here now for 12 years under United Our Youth, but also I've been here for 20 years on another organization. I work with the Alliance of Concerned Men. So I'm here at 701 24th Street Northeast. Telephone number is 240-468-2561. We never doze, but we always close. That means that you can call us anytime and you'll get us a response back.
Right. Okay, well, you heard it from him. We're going to take a quick break, he says, and be back.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, we here Clarence Miles at the community show. I'm here talking to Kurt Bone, a guy again one more time who don't need no introduction, but guess what? Everybody don't know us.
Yeah.
That's what I really like. Everybody don't know us. You know what I mean? We're Washingtonian. You know what I mean? But let's get back to how you got into your like you said, your entrepreneurship. Dealing with your clothes. How can we make a difference? Not only with some of our youth, but some of our adults that's going through the transition still remaining on the side of the curb who haven't got on side the sidewalk and really want to, but kind of stuck. And I know that you said earlier we need to try to talk to some of our youth that's 8, 9, 6, or 7, which is true because now I'm beginning to have a summer camp program for these young adults like that.
Right.
But I'm also know that, since I've been here, I've been working with the whole community.
Right.
And I know that some of our older guys are still like in the middle of a transition. I say the middle of a transition because you can't never look down on a person because they might just get up and walk across the street.
Yeah, exactly right. And as far as the entrepreneurial piece you talk about, you said some key earlier when you gave your own example of yourself about you was a little uncomfortable or nervous about jumping out there in your own, running your own business and being someone that was working for people. Sometimes that can be a good thing because a lot of times you'll get a chance to appreciate the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? So some people got fortunate enough to come right off the porch and go into entrepreneurship. Some people got to take the path of going to work and understanding, being on time, customer service and all those type of things. So when they get out there, they can go to the next level. So that's not really a bad thing to be, down on yourself about. So the good thing is you out here. You've been running your own business for a while. But for the people out there on the sideline, man, they just got to, it's like double dutch. You just got to jump in there. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to say the pool. You just got to jump in there. You might find out how you can help once you move around asking questions. I have a lot of people say, how can I help? How can I do this? How can I do that? Man, just come around. When you see the flyers or the promotion, just walk around. If anybody help me put a table up, sometimes you might know somebody that's a little guy out there that's going crazy, and he remember you from his friend mother, you know what I'm saying? And you might can reach him. So just come around and your face, your presence and everything. So just come around. Ain't no blueprint to it.
And that's what, and I like what you said because, I always get people say, but man, what can I do, man? Call me so I can come back. Look, check this out. I've been here 12 years, with my own organization. A lot of times you do call people, you reach out to people, that's the day they have something to do. Or that's the time where they might do come past and start volunteering. All of a sudden they realize, I'm in Langston Dwellers. I'm right here with this and that. You understand? But look, I got something else going. Sometimes it's a motivation to help other folks that's not doing to get a job and move to that next level. And as you were saying, I'm like this here. I've been around here now, man. I'm willing to open up my heart to anybody in this community. And I say this community or any organization, whether I'm in Legion Park or here in Langston or around the city, I'm here not because I want to be here. I'm here because I was chosen to be here. So you're chosen to be in this community because, again, one more time, man, you have so much, I have to respect, you have a real great following in this community, but not on this community, but around the city. What is it that makes you the person who you are?
I get a credit to my grandmother and my stepfather. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother put the spiritual piece in me. Even when I was living an illegal life, I still had a spiritual little base in me. You know what I'm saying? My stepfather, he taught me culture. He taught me how to be a gentleman, you know what I'm saying, I guess what you call a man's man, you know what I'm saying? So I live by the creed is I'm a gentleman first, anything like that you made me. So I'd rather be a gentleman, you know what I'm saying? Like I wake up to be a gentleman, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of move in that light, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think over the years, like even when I was living another life, at one time I was around Langston around here making, bad press clippings. But even when I was doing that, the old people still was comfortable enough to call me in their room and chastise me in their house and all that, and they respect that to the day. And they tell me now, they walk up to me and say, "We thought y'all was bad." He said, "Well, we wish y'all can come back around here." And I'm like, "Well, they tell you what you can't do, what you was doing illegal, then you know it's bad around here." You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And and when you said that, it really took me back, because even with myself, man, I give all honors to my grandmother. My grandmother was always there for me, no matter what it was. No how it was. My family was always there for me, no matter how it was. A lot of activities that I did, I kept away from home, but still, I was still who I was. The community used to talk to me. The people slept. And here in Langston, from my understanding, because I didn't grow up around here, it's a very community, family-orientated community. I hear some of the seniors talk about, when Langston, we used to do this here, and the kids used to be over here and this and that and all that. And so that let me know there was some great times here. There was some times when it wasn't a lot of confusion or chaos, or even with the confusion and chaos, it was still time where you was able to come to this community and still receive the love. No matter what the habit was, you would still be able to receive the love that you're receiving now.
Yeah, man.
And just give me a little, just tell me.
Just like this the space we're in now. I remember we used to come there. I want to say it was a library.
That's what I'm talking about.
You can go down 2 more buildings there. They'll feed you. And then you go to the corner before you turn to get on 21st on 8th Street.
Yeah.
You had a little rec office where they took us on field trips.
Right.
So you can come out, man. I can come out my door literally and go find real love in about 8 to 10 different places.
Okay.
Behind a closed door. You can't even take a kid behind a closed door now. You don't know what might happen. You know what I'm saying? So the love was just there. So it was opportunity to receive love, more good than evil. You know what I'm saying? So man, it's a tight knit community. Like you say the second oldest in the country, but it's the first. Federal housing projects in the country, but the first in D.C. Yeah. So it was a lot of trend setting, and a lot of love to be given.
Okay. So let me ask you something. So when I came here, I got a lady named Janice Wade McCree. Gave me the keys to the center. This is how much power they had back then. Gave me the keys to the center. Here, said, Clarence, here's the keys to the center. And if housing have a problem with you being in this center, come and talk to me. Did you know Janice Wade McCree?
Yeah, I know Janice. I knew her real well.
How well you know her?
I know her real well, man. I tell you, look, she was the main sheriff out here trying to get me out of here. When I was coming up, man, look, she was on my heel. She gave me more attention than the police did, man. So I know her well, man. But may she rest in peace, man. It was good that it was good that before her passing, and I came home in '93, that we grew a legitimate bond from me saying the man versus the boy that left.
Right.
And just to hear her, pull me to the side and come to me and say, look, I really love you. I really like you. You know what I'm saying? But you was in the way of the community, as far as I was concerned. Stopping. What she considered to be growth with the little youth. But then she said, when you left, and I heard all the stories about you, and I got to watching you come back. She said you really was a good person. I just didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Right. She said so. So she always came to me with, all type of ideas and trying how we can work together. So it ended up being a beautiful relationship. But like I tell people, man, you can't be mad at nobody for trying to clean up the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? I was in the way at that time, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't take it personally. Like I told her, hey, man, you was doing what you had to do. So, I ain't lose no love for you. So, it ended up being a beautiful relationship before she left.
Yeah, I don't know if she really knew my story. I don't think she
knew. She knew your story.
But I had made that transition by the time I got to her, and I was underneath her stewardship, She also mentored me down 667 when I was with the Lions to Concerned Men, and she said I did so good. I think about a death sometimes. I think about, some of them brothers, that I helped, and then today they no longer here, rest in peace. But I remember when I come here, Dapper was a guy who, real nice guy, but he didn't finish school. He wasn't workable. He wasn't deployable. He wasn't teachable. About time when him and I got together, he became workable, teachable, employable. That meant he went back to school, went up to UDC, started getting in college. You know, he got his high school, GED. Then he got a job, worked with the city, driving the trucks, got his CDL. You know, so it was a lot of transitional things that happened. You know, and this young man, it was a primary how a person who really didn't want to get to that next level but ended up going anyway.
Right, yeah.
Because he felt something different inside of him that he wanted to do to be more responsible within his life.
Right.
You know, and I guess through you and just well for me, we see many people come and go. We see many people that come and go in our life. You know what I mean? But what is it that we can, what kind of information that we can give if somebody was happening to walking past the set this morning, or walking past and seeing the show, Clarence Miles and the Community Show, and it is happening to walk past, what is it that you can give them type of information that can attract their ear, to make them stop and look and say, that's on time?
Right. Okay, before I answer that, don't forget that question. I want to give a shout, rest in peace to Depp too. Very wise guy, very intelligent. They actually, he was a big guy like me. They actually called him Depp Bone. They always say he wanted to be another little Kirk Bone, right? So and we used to talk at length. You know, there was I don't know if you watched the movie Bronx Tale. It reminded me, they say a waste of talent, not a negative standpoint.
Right.
Because he could have been anything he wanted to be. Very smart.
That's why I brought it up. Because he was very influential with this community, with the people in this community.
So rest in peace to him. Like I say, if somebody was to walk up right here, man, all I can tell them is that, hey, give them my story, give them my situation, and be raw with them, and just and see if I can track them, or hopefully I know something about them or somebody they might know that I can give them a reference point to be like, man, your big brother or your mother or something like that. And like I say, with you, you come past it. You walking what you talking, you know what I'm saying? Somebody might walk past, you got the smoking from the grill. You might be out here doing this broadcast outside. You know what I'm saying? I done seen you talking to the little kids. I mean, all the way from the KCs to different people that's grown women. Your name have came up in conversations about little things you did to touch them. You know what I'm saying? So you know, just practice being visible is the most thing. As from an entrepreneur standpoint, they always say, even if your business not making no money, just be open. Every day they say you're going to be open, close at the same time, and people get to see you, and they know you're there. Your business eventually might pick up.
And you know, and that's the message. You know, that's the message of being consistent. You know, doing the necessary things that to help the community. This is why I love about it, because there was never a time when I called on you that you didn't answer the phone. You know, you might, sometimes the phone will ring. You know, answer service call, but you always call back. You know what I mean? There's never been a time that I called on you and said, "Well, man, this is what we doing." You know. You're always there, you know. This is why I really thought about. I said, well, let me reach out to this young man. You know, this is off the hip. This is not recorded. This is not no rehearsed. This is not written down. This is not a conversation that I got to say 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna talk about this. We just talking in general. This is what I like about Clarence Miles in the community, because I want people to be laid back. You know, I want people to understand is that we're just natural people. We're people who's able to make a difference in our community today. You know what I mean? We are people who can say, you know, let me ask you this question. Have any time in your life, have you thought about if you wasn't over here, what type of person you'd be today?
Oh man, I think about that a lot, man. I think God wanted me to be where I was at, but I also think that if I was in another surrounding, another environment, then man, I can really be on some international type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially when my kids was fortunate enough to go through private school. You know what I'm saying? Through the hard working man, their mom. That and I'm looking at the structure and the network. I was like, dang, I see why they be winning. You know what I'm saying? This little basic stuff that they get the cheat sheet on. So I was like, man, if I had some of this right here, man, no matter, couldn't no telling where you might be at. You know what I'm saying? But I think God had me where He want me to be at, and so I'm grateful for that right there.
You know, so you know, you're a survivor of the community, man, and a lot of us, I had to say it, weren't able to come to the level where we at. You know, and there is a lot of folks who have made it. You know, but the transition, man, the transit. This pandemic is something that we never seen before, but from this transition, a person's mind have to go to a whole. I caught the COVID. I caught the COVID, you know, and I didn't know I had it, you know, and I just think, you know, I had got my shots. You know, we got a lot of our brothers today don't want to take shots. A lot of our sisters don't want to take shots. You know, it's no, you know, I don't, you know, I can't say it's a right or wrong because we all feel the way that we want to feel. I just happened to, when I caught it, it could have been as bad, but with me having a shot, I was able to get to that next level. You know, but some of our people didn't take it and passed away. And some of our people didn't take it, caught it, and still survived. You know, this is how life is. You know what I mean? And what I'm talking about is that different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that I got an opportunity to connect with you. I was able to talk to you. You know, a lot of time, it ain't all about yesterday. It's all about today. You know what I mean? It ain't all about, you know, because sometimes when I look back at yesterday, man, when I thought I was doing something real slick, you understand, real savage. This is the slickest thing going on right now.
Right.
This man, trust me, this is the slickest thing. You know, I never had opportunity, you know, except for the last 29 years, I can ride down the street. I ain't had to look over my back.
And that's big. People don't know how big that is in the life we once lived. The police follow you 2 or 3 lights. You can pull over and ask, what's going on? First you was saying, I got some on me. You're paranoid, right? But like you said something good when you say this is the life, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
I have people, you know, I'm quite sure you have people say, man, I like you. I really like you, you know what I mean? But they don't know who I was yesterday. You know what I mean? They don't know who I was yesterday, but guess what? And sometimes they don't really need to know.
Right,
See what I'm saying? Sometimes they don't really need to know. You know, and I say that with Clarence Miles in the community is because I said that I wanted to do a talk show when I was a little boy, right? But I got clean away from it. I was a master of ceremony when I was in the 6th grade. And I wanted to get into acting and playing and all that stuff. Then I got a chance, you know, the last about 6, 7, 8 months ago, got a chance to be in my little first movie strip. I didn't like it, but I got in it. You follow what I'm saying? We had Guns Down, you know what I mean, waiting for that to come out. You know, we got that through Progressive Life, Building Blocks, you know, we was able to do a movie, you know what I mean? And I really like the transformation of what we did because somebody need to see that. You know what I mean? I know you've been in a couple of movies, you know what I mean? Somebody need to see that. You know, because we got a lot of skills that we don't even touch. We don't even bother with. We don't even, you understand? We don't even look at ourselves as that person. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful. So how many movies or how many plays, how many what you call them? What you want to call them?
Like documentaries and stuff like that. Yeah. I probably been in about 5 or 6 documentaries. My name probably been mentioned over like about 15 or 20 books. In some type of scene in the book. Did a little acting in a series on they call Transition that's shown on Amazon. I produced my own DVD, The Life and Time of Rayford Edmond. So I touched a lot of stuff on that side of the market. I'm working on a couple of things now. I'm trying to put together for my life story, but I want to do it in a series because I don't want to just talk about Kirkbone. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about the Clarences. I want to talk about the Miss McCrees. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring everybody into the fold. You know what I'm saying? Because believe it or not, even though I'm a big guy, every time I was playing sports, I was a point guard. You know what I'm saying? So I'm used to facilitating, getting everybody involved. You know what I'm saying? I get the enjoyment from somebody else hitting 30, and I had 15 assists. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me by natural, by trade. So I'm just like I said, I just want to be a walking example. I want somebody to look at me and say, oh, he did it, I can do it. He did the same thing I did.
And you know, and when I see the closing line, I be saying, I want to get me a closing line myself. You know? I want to put closing line. I want to get the nice, thick kid, you know what I mean? The nice, look, because what happened is people in our community, for one way or another, when you're a good person, man, people support you.
Right. Right.
People support you. I've seen through the years where people mistreated people, man, and in life they still get mistreated, you know, because they mistreated people back in them days.
Right.
You know, I'm thankful, you know, that I never heard nobody say you mistreated them.
All right, yeah.
I never, you know, I mean,
right.
I've been in, you know what I'm saying, I've been around a lot of folks. I heard say a lot of people say this person, that person, but I never heard nobody say that you mistreated them or anything. Even as, you know, coming back to the community, giving back to the community and helping people in the community, man, you know. Even when you came to me and said, well, man, I'm doing this mental health piece. If anybody need mental health services, just let me know.
Yeah.
You know, and then we found out most all of us need mental health.
Yeah. We all got a diagnosis, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing the black community got to understand, man. Go talk to a therapist, you know what I'm saying? We all need to talk to a therapist, you know what I'm saying? Especially, I can imagine stuff you seen, you've been running these streets before I started running them, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
So,
I'm so
you know what I'm saying?
man,
I seen the back end of the heroin.
Right.
You seen the front end of it, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, so you seen that to the crack, to the prescription drugs, to the love boat. So your eyes, you know, you definitely need to sit on the couch.
And what makes it so bad is that I got involved not only peddling but also using.
Right,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
See, that's a whole new
you know,
piece.
and that transition, my life is an open book. The crack cocaine during that era changed my whole life. I smoked crack 15 months. Changed my whole life. I've used drugs for 23 years. It changed my whole life. You know what I mean? I never look back. I never look back. You know what I mean? And this is where I'm at today. All because I didn't look back today. The Lord invested in me.
Right.
I have to say the Holy Spirit invested in me.
Right.
You know, He gave me a conscience, He gave me some awareness. You know, even work with the youth. I started working with about 30 years ago, working with youth in Shasta Bruce. A little kid, 11 years old, when I first got my job, cursed me out. I said, man, I ain't gonna never work with no kids. Because I know what I'm gonna do to them.
Right.
But I've been working with them now. It's going on almost 30 years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Because he seen something in me. You know, I had a brother, older guy. He done 50 years in the penitentiary. And society seemed fit that him and I connected. And when we connected for the services that I do, it was a make or break. In other words, he haven't had no services since he'd been home, and my job was to get him some services. And if I couldn't complete that task, I might have took my coat and went on home. And the Lord blessed me to help fulfill this young man's needs and wants before he was able to pass away, because he only got home about 4 or 5 months. But the time that we spent together for 2.5 months, we was able to get a blessing, but I was able to get a conversation to let me know that all we have to do is be patient. Miracles can happen. But guess what? It's mainly miracles can happen when you don't even think a miracle is coming. And you know, and this is why I really appreciate you, and I can't say it enough, because you know, it's a miracle for us to be sitting here. You know, with the joy and the happiness. You know, because it's not all about yesterday, you understand, down and dirty. It's all about how we live in the day. You see what I'm saying? How we supporting our kids, like you say, your kids going to school, how we supporting our family, how we support the community, but most of all, not forget about how it was yesterday.
Where you came from, right?
Yeah,
and like you said earlier,
and this is what I like about it, because you still here in the community. As I'm still in the community where I grew up at, up and down 8th and 8th, I'm still in the community. I just don't hang out there, but I'm still in the community. I'm here helping, you know, youth where I was causing habit, you was causing habit. Then we're back to the community, man. You know, that's a win-win situation.
Right, and like you said earlier, with the patient piece, I tell people, my mentees that, and my peers, that they always say, man, I can't catch a break. And I tell them, I say, man, because when your break comes, you're not around to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got impatient, and now you somewhere in a federal institution at a 4 o'clock count. And you break, and you on this, man, I heard my man them doing that. You would have been with that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to have patience, man, and kind of just know how to chill. You know what I'm saying? So you can get those cash in them joints, man. So, you know, it's hard. Like, people don't understand. the backside of what we do. When you work for a kid or adult, and then you hear something tragedy happen to them, and you build up a certain type of bond that you gave away family time to be with this person, man, that stuff hurts. You know what I'm saying? Also, just the fact that where we come from, right? Like when we was on that life, people talk about the people that was using drugs,
right?
But they don't talk about addiction to selling it,
right?
And the profit you get from it. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially I like Bentleys,
right?
And all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And when I see it, and I say, damn. The other life get to that fast, so you know it's a struggle to walk away from that. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to keep my head down, dug down, man, and stay on the goal and don't get unfocused. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole different piece.
Yeah, that's real. That's the part where you know it's that conversation. I could talk all day long about that conversation, and this is why I'm always turning the corner on that. You see what I'm saying? Because people want to know, even though yesterday was like that, they want to know how are we supporting our security today? You see what I'm saying? How are we giving back to the community today? You know what I mean? What made you change that? But one thing what I found out is that, let me ask you this question, because we work with youth. But what do you think that what do you think that the government is doing for the services our youth? Do our youth have chances or opportunity today to get the type of services or type of training or the type of jobs, or are they investing into our youth, or do our youth take advantages of the services that they're getting?
It's a combination. I think the government definitely putting out nice sized budgets to attack the youth. So I give them that definitely. I think that they just got to do a little more better, what you call background check on who they distributing the money to, and just see if they movement's really serious. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm learning from getting this side of the work. Because again, everything I did was just my own movement and my own spirit. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm on this side that who got the best pen, who can write the prettiest grant, get it. It don't matter what they resume say. If they pen pretty, they get the work. You know what I'm saying? So I just think they need to vent that a little bit better, not to knock nobody from making no money if they succeed about what they're doing. But I think that part, once they get that together, it'll be a little more better. But there's definitely services out here. I think people got to get creatively on how they take the youngest to the service. And then sometimes when you meet a youngin, I tell people, look, you met him, that's great. You broke the ice with him. Okay, go and get inside his house and meet them, because sometimes you can be working for 8 hours with him, then he go back to the other 16 with them. You working right against your 8. You know what I'm saying? So you learn the whole family, and then you can get a better understanding who he is.
Yeah. So man, you know, I enjoyed this conversation with you.
Thanks for having me too.
You know, we kind of like working down, we winding down, man. I appreciate you coming out, man, taking time out with me today, man. You know, I'm looking forward for us to have another sit down, you know what I mean? What we do it on live or what we just do it one-on-one, man. I just want to say this, man, you know. When you have a survivor of the street, no matter what age they is, and we turn the corner to give back to the same community that we took from, man, a lot of us are not here to do that. A lot of us never got opportunity to do that. Fortunate that we got opportunity to do that. And what I heard is that he's seen something. That what Brother Bates to say. He's seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. So he's seen something in you. You know what I'm saying? That you might have seen yourself. And also, you know, definitely with me, I didn't see it. I'll never imagine that I'll be doing what I'm doing now. You know, I could say that out front, and I would never imagine that I'll be working with the same youth, the same type of guy that I was. You know what I mean? And making a difference. And making a difference. And a lot of times I stand alone. A lot of times I stand alone. You know, but today, what I found out, I can't do this work alone. So I appreciate you being there with me, man. I'm just saying it from my heart. I'm saying it with everybody. I really appreciate you, man. I really appreciate the change. And I didn't know nothing about you yesterday. So it's irrelevant about yesterday. What I do know about today, you know, and I just want to tell you, man, thank you, man.
Appreciate you, man, for having me, man. Definitely, man. And tell the people they can check my.
Give him your email, your whatever you need.
If you're on Instagram, it's Kirkbone, CURTBONE _DC. And also, if you're on YouTube, I got a podcast called Exchanging Jewels. You can follow that on Kirkbone TV. We will have a lot of exciting guests on there. And right there, you can find me right there. Also, my clothing line, All Days, ALLDAZ, gear.com. That's our website if you want to, show a little love and check us out. And, looking forward to seeing y'all.
Okay, cool. And I want to tell you thank you, man. Live again with Clarence Miles and the Community Show. We'll see you on the next time, the next show. We're always going to have some great guests, whether they come from the political, whether they come from the street, but most of all, we're going to come with the information that'll let somebody know that we are survivors of the streets of Washington, D.C. So I just want to tell everybody, have a great weekend. And remember, we're still in the pandemic. You know what I mean? So I just want to tell y'all thank you. We're signing out. Peace.